Hey, everybody. Good early morning. I'm at WorkBenchCon, and this was day two, and I'm back here giving you an update of the activities today and what happened. And glad you could be here. We had a fantastic day at WorkBenchCon here in Atlanta. Met several of the vendors that were here and met a lot of creators. Had a chance to hang around with some terrific people today and really enjoyed it, as well as attended a few classes, received a few things as we went around. And so I just wanted to give you that update. I appreciate anybody who might be watching this on replay. So there's a company I was not familiar with called Mullet, and they gave me another one of these pencils. So going to put that to good use. In the package yesterday, there was a single Bessie F-style clamp. I went by the Bessie stand today, and they gave me three more, which means I'll have a set of four. And it was very nice of them to do that, so that everyone who went by there could fill out a set of these small clamps of four. And going to put these to good use in the shop. Also had someone come by and give us some Mirka, a Braynet dust-free sanding pads. So looking forward to trying those. Let you know how those turn out whenever I do try them. So looking forward to that. Very good. So went by the Craig booth today. I took a photo, but I haven't had a chance to load it. Okay, AJ built this. Says, why are we still awake? So AJ, you're down the hall. You should come up here and join the live stream. So yeah, if you're still awake, you should come check it out. Anyway, we've got this thing about partnering with Craig, which they were handing out to creators, and they said, we'd love to partner with you. Ready to take the next step, fill out our influence application, and we'll get the conversation started. I don't know if this was meant to be just for attendees of WorkBenchCon, but they put a web address here of craigstool.com /influencers. So if you are an influencer and use Craig products, they might want to partner with you. I don't know. So something to keep in mind. So AJ says he literally cannot move it from his current position, which I completely understand. AJ, I am pretty exhausted myself and looking forward to getting some rest this morning. So I met with a lot of people. Here's AJ from AJ Built This. He gave me one of his cards. Great guy. Hung out with him a lot yesterday and today. And he was socializing and networking and meeting with vendors and doing all those things so that he can go back and take care of his viewers as well. Met with Steve Mosley from Making at Home. So got his card there. So he's a designer, maker, content creator. Steve Mosley on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all over the place. So checking out Making at Home. So that's fantastic. Went by the Mullet station. They gave me one of these mullet stickers. If you don't know what mullet is, It's one of those cyclone shaped attachments for your shop vac, but unlike other attachments in those cyclone, it has a unique design. So it's all one piece. Instead of having a 5-gallon bucket, you have to add an attachment to the top. It's all sealed up. And I'm very interested to see how it is performing. They did give me a tip that you can buy it directly from their website and you can get free shipping. And it will actually, from what I can tell, be cheaper than buying it from Amazon. So check out Mullet. I do have pictures of that, but I wasn't able to load them up on the computer. And fantastic. Samantha, just inspired. Great to have you here. What are you doing up this kind of night? But I'm glad you dropped in. I appreciate that. So I'm at this conference having a wonderful time and giving everybody an update on how the conference went and who and all I met. Jonathan Sherwood, great to see you. It's 11:34 p.m. Why are we up? Well, it's 1:35 p.m. here, so I do want to know why we're up. But I wanted to give everybody an update before we went to bed. It was a busy day. Got a sticker from the Bessie folks to go with the clamps. Add that to my sticker collection. Very excited about that. Met EB Woodcraft. I believe he's from Oregon at ebwoodcraft.com. He's on Facebook and really cool guy. Got a lot going on. Met Stuart Windsor from Windsor Wolves Creations. It's at windsorwolves.com. A lot of great people here. Meeting with them. I'm going to go through some of these kind of fast here. The Mullet representative for the vacuum attachment is DJ Bell. So Samantha says it's 1:34 for me. Yeah, I agree. It's late. Yeah, I appreciate y'all jumping on. Got a sticker from Sawdust Nation, the podcast. Very good stuff. Wall Control is one of the vendors here. They have a wall system which is, it appears superior to any pegboard I've ever seen and more versatile at the same time and sturdy, and it can be printed with different designs or your logos. So interested to check that out more. The backyard barman was here. The North Country Woodworking podcast. Fantastic stuff. Hey, Married Man Woodworking was here. All right. Ashley from Inside Sales Representative from Forest to Home was showing us the selection, some of the selection they have of hardwoods, and you can select the piece out and have it mailed directly to your home from Forest to Home. And they are doing things so that you can see the individual piece of wood online, select it, and have it sent to you. I'm impressed with what I saw, and I'm going to check that out further. Here's some more information about wall control. If you look that up on Facebook and Pinterest under wall control, then you'll get more information on that. I met JP, who is a builder, designer, and artist, J. Paul the Carpenter. So instead of giving out a regular sized business card. Gave out this. So it's Jared Foster. So very cool person. All right. Met the Man Crafting, who gave me some stickers. Manly Arts and Crafts, the channel, Man Crafting. Cool guy. He came up. We were talking to Bob, and who's the keynote speaker tomorrow, and talked with us a few minutes. It was great to meet, talk about that. I met with Adam Ali, who is the co-founder and director of MakerCube.ca. So apparently this is a space that you can go to in Langley, British Columbia, and you can do woodworking there using their equipment. If you don't know how to do it, they have training available. So it's a very, very cool idea. I went online, looked it up, MakerCube.ca, and you can check that out. Okay, that's a room key. All right, got a few more. Nick's Custom Woodwork, which was very cool. He's on, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, everything. LearnYourCNC.com, which was Kyle Eli. So it was great meeting him. And Scott Walsh had business cards that look and feel like a driver's license. I don't know if Scott is old enough not to need a fake ID, but we don't encourage fake IDs here. But no, it's a really cool card. It's textured on the back, and it feels like a driver's license. So very cool stuff. And talked to Pax Woodworking, and that very, very cool, awesome creators making at home. So talked to Bob today, talked to April Wilkerson, talked to Cam. Cam's going to come on the live stream. He's volunteered and is looking forward to it. So we have a lot of excitement coming up. And in today's startup, after we had breakfast, we had an open session with Ben. I said Uyeda, but I think I'm mispronouncing that last name, Uyeda. He talked to us about several things. Let me just review a couple of the highlights. So he was basically saying that everybody wants to work for themselves. And then if you have a boss that has unrealistic expectations of his employees, then the boss needs to be fired because he's not being a good boss. And forcing your employee to do something they are not that they are not being creatively interested in will lead to burnout results or less than average results. So if you're working for yourself, you need to be a good boss, and you got to be a good employee. You got to be a good boss. And learn to apply that. I thought that was a great concept to talk about. So if you see others with new products, different income streams, etc., and you think you want to add that to what you're already doing, if you want to do new things, what are you going to give up so that you can do those new things? So if you're just going to add it to what you're already doing, then you're going to give up time, and possibly that time could have been spent sleeping or with family. If there absolutely isn't a way to give up time, then you have to pick something else to give up. You cannot do everything. He also talked about the story about the person who took a paperclip and kept trading it until they traded for a house. So they didn't go from a paperclip to a house, but they traded the paperclip for the stapler for a tumbler, and kept trading up each time until they had cars, and then traded cars for something else, and ended up trading for a house. So if you are motivated like that, if you want to always be moving on to the next thing, you need to look for those opportunities. He talked about the container homes that he was building, then build a container hotel. So once you do one thing, then you move on. You make a hotel out of containers, and you just move on to the next thing. You don't rest in one area. You could be motivated and keep going. He talked about how a company wanted to work with him on a product, and they were willing to pay him to make videos or send business their way, but instead of doing that, he wanted to pay them and buy part of their company, because once he was a part owner of that business, then Ben would be more apt to do what's in the best interest of the business. Not just collecting a paycheck from them, but what is the best for long term. So basically, by investing in them, he's investing in himself. It had to be a product that he was really willing to back. And I'm probably not getting all the details straight, but these are some of the highlights that I found interesting. So he also said, don't be tied to things that you don't own. You don't own your subscribers on YouTube. You don't own your YouTube channel. Google does. They own the channel. That goes with other things. Don't tie yourself down to things that you don't own, things that could be taken away and could disappear and leave you stranded. So you need to have other things that are important in your life. And I know with the YouTube process how easy it is to worry about your channel so much and to want to grow. But there's other aspects of our life that we do too, want to be able to, do your hobby or put a lot of effort into a sporting activity or whatever it may be in your life. Don't be so attached to things. Be open to changes and looking for opportunities that will lead to you having some ownership in it, some long-term responsibility and attachment to something. So that was a great kickoff session, kind of get us motivated, get us going. We broke out into groups. Each group had a different lesson plan. So one group was breaking out to do epoxy. Another was talking about getting started on social media. That was John from Lincoln Street Woodworks teaching that one. Jonathan Katz-Moses taught about the future of the creator economy and beyond. There was a builder's challenge. Well, anyway, the first one I went to was the video school with Joseph from JoJaqs. That's JoJaqs. So as he was talking about the process, some of my notes included that if you're trying to create videos for people, you're trying to create content for YouTube or Instagram, whatever it may be, if you are describing how to do something, then he said, try to describe how to do it like you were explaining it to an alien that first came to visit Earth. And think about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So if you were explaining the process of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to a being from another world who had no concept of peanut butter jars and how the jelly is spread, then you would have to give the appropriate details at the appropriate pace, show images where you can to make it clear, and know when to speed up that process and when to slow it down so that they could understand the message. You couldn't start out by saying, spread the peanut butter and the jelly on the bread, because if they were from another world, they would not know where to get the peanut butter, how to open the jar, where to get the jelly, how are you spreading the jelly? Is it squeeze on jelly out of one of those plastic containers, or all those details. And then he talked about scripts and formatting a storyboard, just like you were making a movie. You put together a storyboard. You talk about you plan how you're going to do the audio. Are you going to speak during your videos, or are you going to do voiceover later? All these really build into the process. So, hey, Jonathan, looks like you're about to snooze. Good night, my friend, if you are. So you got, let's see. You need to plan out your shot list before you turn on the camera at all. You need to know where you're going to position the camera, what shots you need in order to make your video, and make sure that you have the lighting and the audio all set up, and the camera angle and the camera location. And you've got all these shot lists set up. So you have shot 1A, 1B, 1C, right on. Use check boxes and keep notes as you go in the filming process. He also talked about production equipment. More money for equipment does not equal more better. The law of diminishing returns peaks for a camera around $3,000. So he was saying you can spend $600 and get a camera, or you can escalate up. But once you get to the $3,000 range, you're maxed out on the real efficiency that you're going to get out of a camera. But in turn, he says that, for YouTube and social media, what you find on an iPhone or a smartphone, the cameras are good enough to do it. So you really should focus on audio and lights to see and stability. So he talked a lot about stability. Stability is basically putting the camera on a tripod or a steady surface so that you don't have shaky cam. If having someone hold it, you can do your best, but you are not going to hold it perfectly still and it is distracting to the viewer. And whenever you're working with power equipment and so forth, if you set it where the vibrations of the equipment can shake the camera, that also will have a impact on your final product. And he says, remember, audio is really important because a video without audio is just surveillance. And we're not doing YouTube videos of surveillance. So let's see. When it comes to audio, you get what you pay for. The main types include cardioid, hypercardioid, supercardioid, dynamic, condenser. Anyway, I would recommend, if you want more information about that, you watch the live stream with Suman whenever had him on, and then let me know if you have questions. Maybe we need to have somebody else on talk about audio. Lighting, talked about good lighting on your video. Stability, again, is key because you got the tripod, the monopod, the sliders, the gimbals, the different ways to hold a camera steady. So I think we've covered that well. So remember, with lighting, there's a 3-point lighting. You got the key light, which is, for me, this light up here. The fill light, which would be a secondary to cut down on the shadows, and backlight, which I don't really have here, but if you have backlight, you can do a lot of things and get rid of some of those shadows and create a visual interest. All right, so in my next session I went to, it was defining the visual style from the Weber Workshop. So Blake from the Weber Woodshop. So he talked about how each of the big creators on YouTube all have a visual style, and 50% of the brain is processing visuals. So you should, in your videos, try to show more and tell less, and try to get the user's brain engaged in your videos. And by creating different effects, different looks, you can have your own style. So the depending on the skill level and the expectations of your viewer, you can set up shots to be more impactful. If you're trying to be cinematic or just having a clear picture of a table saw making a cut, there's different ways that you can light each of those. So lighting is a key part of having your own visual style. And on a film set, he said, remember, no matter what kind of video you're doing, you're creating your own film set. Like right now, I just have a couple of light boxes and camera and computer, but this is my film set. And so you set up your film set, you make sure your lighting is in place, you make sure your audio is in place. So, and you need a relative source whenever you're talking about hard lighting versus soft lighting. You have to think about the relative source of light to the object. So like if you're outside and it's a clear sunny day and that sun is coming from a single point in the sky, then you're going to have hard shadows that are not softened. But if it's slightly overcast, that light is dispersed and you have less shadows because all the light is bouncing around. It's very, very soft. So you want soft lighting usually on your videos, or a combination of soft and hard lighting. So my last class of the day was creating evergreen content through sales. And this was Mike from Woodshop Mike. Sorry, had brain fog. Okay, so make plans whenever you're making videos. If you make plans to go with those, you can create evergreen income because those plans will be around for years. You can continue to sell them. If you make a video and put it on YouTube, then that video can accompany the plans to help the buyer be able to do the project. So what makes a good plan? A good plan communicates, conveys information to the person who's reading the plan. A plan needs to be easy to understand. So not a lot of technical jargon, not a lot of hard to read information in the plans, but be easy. So some elements of a good plan include a list of materials that people seem to like lists, and they like charts in plans. So you need to include cut list, a symbol key. So symbol keys are telling you how to assemble things. Layout cuts, step-by-step instructions with illustrations with each of those. People also like clarity by you inserting notes. So don't make assumptions about your audience or the purchaser of your plan. Give them the information they need so they don't have to come back and ask you questions. It really is better for everyone. So you have to know your target audience, who they are, what experience they have in woodworking or whatever kind of plan you're making. What's their style? Are you trying to sell, farm style coffee tables? Whenever they want modern style. So what's your target customer want? And what's their budget? Are they looking for a free plan? Are they looking to spend $5, $10, or are they looking for a really large plan that might be $25 or even $50? You need to be able to give people a sense of difficulty with the project before they buy the plan, so that if they're a beginner woodworker, you're not having them do an expert level project. And you need to have a strategy for choosing your projects. So many woodworkers will be building something for someone else. If you choose the right project, you can build it for them, sell it to them. While you're doing it, you are also could video it so that you've created content for all the social medias, and you create the plan to accomplish it. And now the plan is up for sale on your website or another site, and it's going to be evergreen sales because it can be sold multiple times for years to come. So there's the strategy for choosing, and you have different streams of revenue, like I just covered. You have pricing. He prices his between $10 and $15, but he typically sees that most plans are between $5 and $25. So depending on the complexity of the plan will depend on how you do this. For selling them, you can sell them on your website. He has a website using WordPress. You have, what is it? Gumroad, which has a distinct advantage, sends out the revisions of plans automatically whenever the purchase is made. The downside is that sometimes they show other plans. So if you're, selling plans to a coffee table and they look at your plans and they're reading about them to purchase them, Gumroad will say, well, we have other plans to coffee tables, and try to get the customer to look at those. You can sell plans on Etsy or Spruced, and he uses the software SolidWorks to make his plans. So I think that is a great way to get you some evergreen income, and do the plans once and then sell them repeatedly for years, if you're interested in that. Now, tomorrow we've got a lineup of classes again, and I'm not completely sure which ones I'm going to take at this point. I do think that it is after 2 a.m. here, and I hope everyone is doing good. Let's see. Well, I appreciate you watching tonight. If you're watching this on replay, I hope this brought you some kind of value. Give me a thumbs up, and I will see you soon. Monday night, we do have Caleb coming on, but I'm going to try to do another live stream tomorrow, let you know how the conference went tomorrow. Again, met and hung out with a lot of people. Got to hang out with Izzy, John, Scott, Chris, AJ, a lot of great people. JR. Oh, my wife's calling. I gotta go.